1984, our worlds met. The world of the heroic Autobots and the evil Decepticons. Thus, our story begins with Transformers More Than Meets the Eye, also affectionately known as G1. In the series, Season 1, one of our most deadliest foes was introduced to the battlefield. It was the first of the Decepticon assault teams. They were designated the Constructicons. They consisted of Scrapper, Mixmaster, Longhaul, Bone Crusher, Scavenger, and Hook. But they also came with another form, the awesome form of Devastator. As we stand here and we look at Devastator in his awesome G1 incarnation, today we review the history of the biggest, baddest, and the first of the assault teams on the Decepticon ranks. None other than the Devastator. Now here we have featured our G1 Devastator in his original incarnation. Traditional color scheme of the green and purple, and as you see him standing here, he looks pretty awesome. And over the years, Devastator has gotten a few incarnations. This particular incarnation had several repaints. It had a repaint that was in orange and purple. It had a repaint that was in yellow and purple. And of course, this particular variation was issued more than once. However, Devastator, like most Transformers in the Transformer universe, evolved with different incarnations over the years. In Japan, once Generation 2 had started here in America and introduced a new toy line to the Transformers universe known as Micro Machines, in Japan they started a series known as Operation Combiner. With Operation Combiner, they used several of these Micro Machine teams and made them also into Super Warriors. Thus, one of the original teams was known as Six Builder, that was made up of construction vehicles. Now here in America, in the States, several years later, Six Builder was reintroduced to the Transformers universe and designated Constructicon Devastator and repainted. Now, what we have here is our friend Six Builder in his Devastator G1 incarnation repaint. And as you see this figure standing here, he looks pretty tight. He, just like the original Devastator, is made up of 6 individual components that also transform into individual robot modes. And though they share most of the same names, this is the first time Decepticon Hightower was introduced as part of the Constructicon team versus the traditional Hook. Now, with Six Builder comes with some extra accessories which include his feet, his waist, his upper torso, and his arms. These components can combine along with his weapon to form a mini jet. And of course, as I aforementioned, all of the individual components transform into robot modes, and any one of those robots can pilot this jet. Now, the reason they made the jet, of course, is so you could have something to do with all these extra components and not misplace them. But this isn't our only reincarnation of Devastator. Later on, we had Transformers Energon that introduced to us Constructicon Maximus. And later on, just like I aforementioned before in the Transformer universe, many characters get a new incarnation. This character was reintroduced as part of the Robots in Disguise Classics line as Constructicon Devastator. And as you see him standing here again in the G1 color scheme with the traditional purple and green, he stands here. He looks pretty awesome. I'm very, very impressed with the Devastator legacy, but the reason I showed these Devastators first is because I wanted to pay respects to the original. I wanted to give props and show you where it all began. But this review is not about these Devastators. This review, this Anderson 1939 production, is about my man from Revenge of the Fallen, none other than Constructicon Devastator.